rounds in this round, and Cotto seems cognizant of the need to do something to blunt Abdulaev's continuing pressure. Abdulaev seemingly realizing that he's behind on the scorecards and starting to build his pace again.
The movement and change of directions and stuff is causing a little problem for Abdulaev, who's very much walks on his left heels when he goes forward and is not that agile as far as changing directions.
He's also developing a big swelling above the right eye, and the right eye itself is starting to swell shut. That could help Cotto to begin targeting his left hook a little better. Cotto's face so far unmarked except for a red welt on the forehead, and there's the combination.
There's the combination. He's fighting a very fight.
That's the difference in the two fighters. You just don't see those kinds of combinations from Abdulaev when they're out in space. Abdulaev hits Cotto right on the hip, a punch designed to slow him down, and busts him with a right hand after the referee had asked him to break. Cotto's composure remains intact.
Cotto's fighting a very good fight.
Tremendous. Real good. My right eye. He can't see through his right eye. He can't see through his right eye. Use it.
Put the iron on his head. Let me see your eye.
Open his eye. Open your eye. Open your
Abdulaev's lumps have lumps.
Yeah,
elbow.
That was elbow. And I think that the elbow was no accident either. I think that was a purpose elbow.
Well, he hit him with the elbow at about the same time that he also threw a left hook onto the hip. Both were purpose punches. And you can see how much Vaseline is now smeared onto the right eye of Abdulaev, and Abdulaev is showing a great sense of urgency, realizing now that that right eye may shut down his effort in this fight. Total through round 8, CompuBox numbers. Cotto 124 out of 64. Abdulaev 76 out of 416. So both punches thrown and punches landed show numbers that are beginning to widen for Miguel Cotto. He's asserting himself in the fight tactically and mentally.
Yeah, very good fight. And this is all of those fights he's having. They're having 4 fights a year, which is a lot for a first-class championship type fighter. And I think that's the advantage going into this fight for him, the experience that he has and activity where he's doing things automatically now while he's
and Abdulaev is going to check out of the fight, or at least ask for time.
No, I think he wants to quit.
I think he wants out. His right eye is shut. He's asking the doctor to look.
No, he's great.
He's done. Miguel Cotto has a big victory, and he fought his way to it.
A great performance tonight. I was very, very impressed.
Tactical brilliance from a young fighter who showed patience, composure, and got through a rough stretch against a hard guy.
And he's not going to meet any tougher guys on the way up.
Once again, I have to give a lot of credit to Bruce Tramper, the matchmaker for Top Rankings. Did a great job in moving him along properly to be prepared for a situation like this.
Maybe the best matchmaker in the sport.
Oh, I definitely feel he is. He's the best matchmaker, to me, of all time as far as developing a fighter.
Part of the brilliance of Top Rank is the care with which they select opponents for their fighters. They thought Kid Diamond might beat Joel Casamayor, and he probably should have earlier this evening. They trusted Miguel Cotto to get the job done against Mohamad Abdulaev, and he did it. Here's a quick look at the end, and you'll see Abdulaev signaling first, it seems, to the crowd or to the referee, and then eventually to the doctor that he's finished. And once the right eye started to swell, it swelled extremely rapidly.
Yes, it did. It was very, very bad. You know, and over in those European countries, to retire, as they say, or to quit, it's not a disgrace. We look at it different here. And that's why you see so many fighters from Europe that say, hey, I'm through. And it's no big thing over there, but to us, we look at it
He's thinking, why take the chance of fighting half blind? Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger indicates the referee, Johnny Callis, he can no longer continue. Referee stops the bout at 57 seconds of round number 9. The winner by TKO victory, still WBO Junior Lightweight Champion of the World, de Caguas, Puerto Rico, Miguel Cotto.
Let's take a look at final CompuBox numbers. Miguel Cotto's advantages rose as the last few rounds went by. He winds up landing 55 more and throwing 204 more. And eventually, as we mentioned early in the fight, somebody was going to bust somebody up. Somebody was going to break somebody down. Miguel Cotto broke Mohamad Abdulaev down with his left hand, and once he saw the swelling begin on the right side of Abdulaev's face, he measured it, he attacked it, and he saw it could win the fight that way. 60 out of 336 in his jabs. Abdulaev not nearly effective with the jab. Miguel will continue throughout his career to try to use his very good jab to set up his much better right cross and left hook. Larry Merchant stands by with the still unbeaten rising star of the 140-pound weight class, Miguel Cotto.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Miguel. Do you feel any different after beating Abdulaev, who beat you at the Olympics, than after winning other fights as a professional?
Trajo lo mismo, fuerte, para adelante, presentando pelea en todo momento. Pero supimos movernos en determinados momentos, dio sus buenos golpes, supimos botarlo. Y la pelea acabó por el ojo que tenía inflamado.
He was the same. He pressured her continuously, but we knew how to overcome those issues. But obviously his problem was the eye.
Were you surprised that he quit when he did?
¿Quedaste sorprendido?
Los superhéroes pues son cosas del pasado, ya no existen. Entendió que no podía seguir en el combate y lo mejor que hizo es un buen atleta, sabe cuándo decir no más.
It's part of the past. He knew when he had enough, and it was his time to go.
With the defeat of Costa Zoo, how have your plans possibly changed as you march forward?
Con la derrota de Costa Azul, ¿cómo cambian tus planes hacia el futuro?
Nunca he tenido planes, los planes siempre han sido de la empresa. Ellos pues han puesto todos los que ellos han querido en mi camino y a todos los hemos despachado.
I've never had plans. My company, my corporation, my group has put the plans, and we have always addressed the issues and marched forward.
Do you think that you need a big defining showdown against another well-recognized fighter in your division to finally get all the recognition from your fans and others?
Bueno, Aaron anteriormente estuvo hablando de La Hoya. De La Hoya ha sido un gran campeón. Me gustaría pelear con él y si él lo consigue, entiendo que va a ser un gran combate.
We've been talking about De La Hoya, and if obviously that comes to fruition, that'd be a great bout.
De La Hoya is not in your division, but you want to fight him just like everybody else does.
Él está hablando de bajar a la 147. Yo llevo tiempo contemplando subir a la 147. Entiendo que debe ser un gran combate.
He's talking of coming down to 147. I've been thinking about going up to 147. I understand it's going to be a great bout.
Thank you very much. Congratulations against Miguel. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Larry Merchant. Well, leaving aside the question of Oscar De La Hoya, we've mentioned all night how talent-rich the 140-pound weight class is. You have Costa Zoo, the deposed champion, and Ricky Hatton, whom Ring Magazine has now designated as the champion of the division after Hatton beat Zoo last week. Harris, whom you manage, a great fighter from Guyana who can't seem to get into the rotation against any of these top
By the
guys.
way, he is fighting the co-featured on the Gaddy and Mayweather fight. He's going to fight defending his title.
So we'll see him
And
on the pay-per-view card that night.
He'll be in the mix after that.
And you have Mayweather, and you have Gaddy, and you have Miguel Cotto. There are 6 of these stars in the 140-pound weight class in all. It could set up a tremendous series of fights over the next few years.
Well, I think so, definitely. And, you know, and I like all of the guys in the division. Gaddy is not maybe as skillful in his first movement, but he still is the most exciting because he punches and not just hustles a lot like Ricky Hatton. I think Vivian Harris, once people see him, will find him to be like a bigger version, a smaller version of Mike McCallum, but maybe a